So I'm not sure if you know this or you remember, we used to be on what is called the Julian calendar, which has 365 and a quarter days. Makes sense. We were on that calendar until roughly 1582, and then we changed to the heliocentrism calendar, or the Gregorian calendar, which is 365.2425 days. Real quick, heliocentric globers, they love math. What's an easier number to do math, and what would be the Occam's razor equivalent to basic math when it comes to the calendar? Would it be 365.25 or 365 days and a quarter, or 365 days and 2425 days? Yeah, the Julian calendar would make a lot more sense. Now, I don't know about you, but the Julian calendar, I had heard of it through school, but there was no emphasis. It was almost as though it's primitive. Stupid. That's barbaric. We don't do that anymore. Until I noticed that a lot of ancient cultures depicted the earth as a turtle shell, or tortoise shell. Cosmic turtle, or the world-bearing turtle, is a mytheme of a giant turtle or tortoise supporting or containing the world. Now, if you look at this shell, it's level with a dome over it. Same here, level. Now, this one tries to show some curve, but it is level. It is a level plane with a dome. There's no spherosity here. There's no sphere. And they mention the elephants, right, in the counterpart. Doesn't many Bibles talk about the four corners? 1, 2, 3. So 4 elephants, 4 corners, holding up a level base with a rounded top or dome on it. Weird. Now, the coincidences do not stop there. And when it comes to tortoise shells, right, all turtle shells have 13 moons and 28 days. So on the outside of the shell, there are 28 of these spots. And on the inside, there are 13. Now, the ancient Scots, North Polynesian, and Native Americans all recognized the wisdom and adhered to a 13-month calendar. After all, there are 13 moon cycles in a year and 27 to 29 days each cycle. What's in between? 28 would be the average. It's almost as if the system erased 1 month to break up the link between humans, the sun, the moon, the zodiacs, and the animals. Interesting. Guys, this is not a coincidence. This is symbology that matters rather than symbology like a Nike. Just do it. This is nonsense. This is symbology. This is what you should be focused on. Now think about it for a second when it comes to daylight savings time. In the summer here in Florida in the north, sunset's 5:30 roughly. We have what is known as daylight savings time. It's a 1-hour shift. Now same, here in Florida in the winter, my sunset is roughly 8:30 p.m. I'm not sure about you, but 5:30 to 8:30 is a 3-hour differential in time. Daylight savings is 1 hour. Why would I move my clock 1 hour if we actually have 3 hours of light? It's not making sense. Now, that does not make sense unless you understand that sunlight and daylight are 2 different things, okay? So sunlight is the light that you have or you see while the sun is in the sky, or you can see the sun. Daylight is once the sun has set, the sky or the noble gases within our atmosphere are still being illuminated due to the electricity of the sun, meaning the sun has gotten far enough that I cannot see it. It's out of my resolution limit of my eyesight. That does not mean that the electricity has left the, perimeter or the, where it needs to be for the noble gases to be illuminated. So again, that would go a lot more to do with flat Earth, or the fact that the sun does a tight circle in the north, meaning it would go, you would have light longer in the north, which is why you still have more light once the sun has setted, because although it has gone out of my optical or my resolution limits of my eyesight, it is still close enough for the electricity to reach the gases in the atmosphere around me. And likewise, or counterpart, right, as the sun is in the south, It has to do it's just like the arm of a clock, right? The arm of the clock at the top of the arm and the bottom of the arm, they make this circle at the same time, even though they're at different distances, right? So you'll get people go, so what's the moon? Was the sun speed up and slow down? I don't know. Does the clock hand speed up or slow down? I'm not sure, bro. Could you help me out? You're right. It doesn't. That's where just a little bit of discernment, common sense, and then being able to get through an algorithm or an ignorant comment or statement, a theory, will go a long way. So all I'm really wanting you to understand and grasp is that just because some new scientist or a cool news outlet says that they found something or they have a theory or they think, does not mean it's factual. Our ancients were not primitive, barbaric idiots with little brains. They were intelligently designed beings with very, very advanced ways of thinking. They knew advanced math. It proves they are not barbaric morons. Start taking some of these ancient culture symbology and texts, hieroglyphs, structures, with a little more grain of, a little more salt, rather than the mainstream media and or science, which we have literally proven are liars and deceivers.